Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Industrial Stream. In case you don't know, this is where you put on your hard hat, your glasses, your safety boots, and you get ready to dive into the world of heavy industry. With me, your host, Pop. What we usually do is we'll go over a bit of the news, we'll check out some of the shortages of skilled tradesmen out there, and then we'll look into some pictures, maybe a few videos of projects I've been involved with. But before we get to that, I just want to say hello to you, David Glenn. Nice to see you, David. And of course, DJ Ronnie G, just getting home. Sounds like he was riding the bus. And hey, Alex Moore. Hey, Alex, how's things? Nice to see you. All right. So yes, as the title of the stream says, ease back into it. And that's what I did after such a nice long rest over the winter holidays. I was able to just, ease back into my job, which is nice. You show up, you tell everyone about your holidays, how they went. And then there's all the backlog of emails to answer, and just catching up with maybe people that tried to get a hold of you over the holidays. So yeah, we'll get into that a little later. David, you learned of a Canadian company called IPEX. I actually know a few people that worked for IPEX. They make fusible PVC pipe, weldable plastic kind of. Have you ever worked with this? I have not worked with IPEX before, but like I said, there is an IPEX shop and factory in town, and our safety manager actually used to work at IPEX. So yeah, I can't say that I've worked with it though. Well, let's get into the news then. Remember last week I talked about Lion Electric, and they were having trouble with they had to file for creditor protection, bankruptcy protection, and all that kind of stuff. And it looks like they've temporarily reduced their workforce. Well, yeah, no kidding. You're going bankrupt and you're seeking creditor protection. You're gonna lay off your workforce. I mean, that's a no-brainer. You're preparing for the storm at work and next week's dock strike possible. Oh, I didn't know that was going on, Alex. Next week's dock strike. Oh. Yeah, that's definitely going to hold up stuff for you guys for shipping things out. Yeah, like David says, stay safe. Stay safe, Alex. Oh, here's another good one. Plant milk packager tied to listeria outbreak plans to file for creditor protection. Yeah, because it's going to ruin your business having listeria outbreak at your plant milk. So, like almond milk and stuff? I don't know, I guess we'll find out. The Canadian beverage packaging company that processed plant-based milk linked to a listeria outbreak has filed for creditor protection as it plans to restructure the business. Documents from proposal trustees posted on their website Friday show Joriki Incorporated filed a notice of intention with the Office of the Superintendent of Bankruptcy Canada in Toronto on December 31st. Insolvent companies use this mechanism to avoid liquidation and get enough breathing room from creditors so they can keep their business afloat. The documents include a notice to creditors listing more than 100 companies that collectively have claims totaling more than $200 million. Oh yeah, this sounds like they did really great. Sounds like your plant-based milk is doing just awesome there, buddy. Jeez. Joriki has 3 facilities in Canada and 1 in the US, which is owned by a subsidiary. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency deemed a production line at Joriki's facility in Pickering, Ontario, used by plant milk manufacturer Danone Canada, the source of a listeria outbreak that led to 3 deaths between August 2023 and July 2024. Proposal trustee Alvarez and Marshall Canada states in the letter to creditors that Juriki is not bankrupt, but is hoping to create a stabilized environment and give the company breathing room while it evaluates its strategic alternatives. Well, maybe what your strategic alternative is to not have listeria in your food, in your plant-based milk. How about that? Unbelievable. Neither the trustees nor company representatives responded to requests for comment. No, they're gonna keep quiet. They're not gonna yap it up. The listeria outbreak that infected at least 20 people in Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, and Alberta was not mentioned in the notice. Health Minister Mark Holland said at an October press conference that Juriki was not adhering to Health Canada policies on listeria prevention. There you go. They're being cheap. They're trying to cut corners to save a buck, and they've caused this. Including properly conducting environmental swabbing and finished product testing prior to the national recall of several Silk and Great Value plant-based milk products on July the 8th. Among the creditors listed are dozens of companies ranging from packaging services to utilities providers to the Canada Revenue Agency. That's the equivalent of the IRS in Canada, the Canada Revenue Agency. More than $174 million is owed to the Bank of Nova Scotia. Danone was also included in the list of creditors, which claims of more than $200,000. Spokesman for Danone Canada said production from the affected facility was moved elsewhere in its North American network. We do not anticipate any disruption in supply in the short term, and we'll work closely with our partners to ensure Canadians continue to enjoy Silk refrigerated beverages. Jennifer Vincent, head of communications, said in a statement, Juriki, Danone, and Walmart Canada are named in the class action lawsuit launched in Quebec by LPC Avocats over the listeria outbreak. The lawsuit has not yet certified by a judge. Vegans are always trying to remake foods people enjoy. It reminds you of people in Hollywood making. Yes, it's never as good as the original, is it, David? That's why if I ever see anything that has like plant-based, has a label on it that says it's plant-based, I walk right by it. Don't even acknowledge it. I'm like, nope, don't care. You know, this stuff was good. The stuff that came before was good enough for my grandparents and great-grandparents, and they did just fine. None of this plant-based garbage. What else we got here? So yes, those guys are idiots. They were probably cutting corners to save money, and that's what you got. You got a listeria outbreak because there was no proper procedure, no proper cleaning, and no proper testing. So I hope they go under. I actually hope they go under, and it's a shame a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, but that's a scumbag company, and they have to pay. DP World partners with Gemini to enhance Canadian cargo operations. Okay. DP World, a Dubai-based company specializing in global logistics and supply chain solutions, announced a new partnership with the Gemini Corporation, with the Gemini Cooperation, it says, to enhance cargo operations throughout Canada beginning in February 2025. DP World says it will introduce several new container services at its terminals at the Port of Vancouver, Port of Prince Rupert, and Port St. John. The agreement with the new Gemini Cooperation, a collaboration between shipping and logistics companies Maersk and Hapag-Lloyd, will reportedly allow DP World to present additional options for cargo loading and discharge in Vancouver, Prince Rupert, and St. John. By leveraging its network of terminals across Canada, DP World says it can provide enhanced resilience in the event of disruption. You'd think these guys know something about something that might happen? Seems kind of strange that all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we're going to do this, just in case. The company explains that this collaboration will strengthen trade connections between Asia, Europe, and North America. Vancouver and Prince Rupert will handle key shipping services to and from Asia, while St. John will manage services connecting to Northern Europe. Doug Smith, CEO of DP World in Canada, said the partnership with Gemini Cooperation reaffirms our vision of enabling smarter trade and bolstering the resilience of global supply chains. by uniting the strengths of DP World's Canadian terminal network and the innovative approach of Gemini cooperation, we are paving the way for seamless and reliable connections between Asia, Europe, and North America. The Gemini cooperation launches in February 2025 and will purportedly focus on delivering a reliable, interconnected ocean network and achieving 90% on-time vessel arrivals. Okay. So good for you guys. You're going to try to improve the movement of goods. Unless they have that port shut down that Alex is talking about. I wonder if that'll come up here. Neo Battery Materials launches new silicon anode, expands to space industry. Donald Trump says he will go ahead with tariff threat against Canada and Mexico. I mean, yep. I mean, it's going to happen. Just do it. United States President-elect Donald Trump is doubling down on his plans to impose tariffs on Canada in his first news conference since the certification of his election win. Trump says he will be putting substantial tariffs against Canada and Mexico when he returns to the White House in less than 2 weeks. The president-elect has previously said he'll put 25% duties on America's closest neighbors unless they can stop the flow of illegal drugs across the border. We read this like a couple weeks ago. That's all they have to do and not get a tariff on it. So why wouldn't they try to do that instead of just crying about it? Do something. Hey, what's up, Godzilla there? It's everyone's favorite kaiju. Trump is already making Canada a better place. Yes, he is. Look at that. He even made our prime minister resign, which is great. You know, now I just wish he would walk into an open manhole and not come out again. You know, I want worse things to say about him and worse things to happen to him, but I don't want to get shut down. In November, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau traveled to Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida to try and tramp down Trump's tariff threats. Yeah, okay. Like he's going to listen to this idiot. Freaking soy boy. Canada subsequently announced a series of measures to beef up the border with a $1.3 billion package, but Trump indicated he intends to proceed with his duties plan. In wide-ranging remarks at Mar-a-Lago, the president-elect also criticized Canada's military funding, made claims that Canada is subsidized by the U.S., and he said he told hockey legend Wayne Gretzky to run for prime minister. I don't know if I'd vote for Gretzky. You duo Borgman speaks Prime Minister Gretzky into existence. We'll see. I don't know if I'd vote for Wayne, but great hockey player. I don't know about his politics. I don't want my social credit score to fall below 38. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I must speak in code, lest I be, all of a sudden, Secret Service. Uh-oh. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, good. You know what? Make it so that his only stipulation is to stop the flow of illegal immigrants and drugs. So just do it. The government can do it. The government has the manpower, the police, whoever it might be, the military. If you've got to put military guards at the border to stop people from going across, good. If you have to beef up the inspection of cargo and stuff to stop drugs, do it. Just do it. And that way you will not have to pay the 25% duty or tariff that he's going to put on us. Like, it's a no-brainer. But no, politicians here in Canada, they don't care. All they care about is getting reelected. They care about their own jobs. They don't really care about the Canadian people. That shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. But when you're young and naive, you believe anything they say. They promise all this stuff, and they never do anything of any consequence at all. Yeah, the Canadian military is too busy harassing truckers and comedians. Yeah, exactly. Like, focus on something more important, will you? 12001 Suite 10021. Yes, yes. DJ, home sweet home. Attaboy. Okay, let's move along to the next one here. This is one I was just about dying laughing on the floor. Guest column. Ontario can strengthen skilled trades with enhanced childcare. And I'm thinking to myself, what do they mean by that? Well, how is enhanced childcare going to help with the skilled trades? And I'm like, are you going to put the kids to work? Or what? But then I realized, oh, they want to get women into it. Women don't want to be in the trades, so stop trying to force them into it. It's just freaking stupid. Yo, what's up, G? Congratulations on dropping Justin Cash. Thank you. Yeah, it's great. There he is there. See, there's the numbskull. He's standing right next to Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario. Got his mask on and everything. You know, too bad he didn't swallow it, eh? Force feed him that mask. My disgust for him is, exponentially incredible. You wouldn't believe it. So, hard to put into words. We will pay the kids $10 a day. You don't have to pay for daycare. Win-win. David's got it right. Home is where the heart is. Oh, it's by Samara Sampson. So it's a woman that wrote this. Ontario continues to face a skilled labor shortage. Over 100,000 additional skilled workers are needed over the next decade to deliver on the government's infrastructure plans, which include building at least 1.5 million homes by 2031. Creating additional pathways to get skilled laborers in the door isn't enough. There must be a comprehensive plan to retain workers, and women can play a big part. No, they can't. They don't want to be. They don't want to. Go ahead and talk to some 20-year-old or 20-something woman. They just want to go out, party, go to the clubs, dance, get stuff paid for them. They do. None of them are like, oh yeah, I want to go get dirty in the skilled trades. None of them are even. That's the furthest thing away from them. That's the last thing they want to do. It's ridiculous how they keep pursuing this. At least he's not Rob Ford. Yeah. That was his brother. And he died. I can't remember what it was, whether it was an overdose or complications from that, but yeah. Small hands are good for fine detail. Yeah. Come on, kids, work harder. Currently, women represent only 4 to 5% of skilled tradesmen across Ontario. Although the provincial government has made strong investments to help attract women to skilled trades, such as launching the Women's Economic Security Program and increasing women's participation in apprenticeships, there is still an enormous barrier to overcome: the lack of viable childcare options. You know what else is? Keeping your legs closed. You know, that's why I say 20-year-old women, they don't want to go. They want to go out. They want to have sex. They want to, they want to screw around. But, whoops. Oh, a kid pops out. Oops. Oh, now someone else has to pay for my carelessness. So they're going to try to do this stupid idea of doing childcare so the women can go to school and become tradesmen that they don't really want to be. To truly make a difference for women in trades, childcare supports need to meet the unique demands of their work. Typical daycares in Ontario operate from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and while these hours work for parents in office jobs, tradesmen often leave their homes as early as 4 in the morning or work overnight shifts, leaving them without readily available childcare support. Finding childcare that's reliable enough to handle unexpected situations like late overtime, workdays, or last-minute changes is rare and costly. While the province seeks solutions for labor shortages, it must understand that talented tradesmen are actively leaving the trades due to a lack of childcare. So here, call me crazy. Here's an idea. How about the man works and the woman stays home? How about that? The man works, the woman stays home, looks after the house and the child. That way you don't have the state raising your child. You raise your child the way you want. And the woman doesn't have to go out and work. She can stay at home, and there doesn't have to be any child care for paid to by or raised by the state. How about that? Call me crazy, but that's just my idea. 4 to 5%, that seems awfully high already. What do these loons want? 50%? yeah, exactly, G. Blasphemy. Oh no, Alex. How dare I speak up, right? But if a woman stays home, then we lose 50% of our tax revenue and we can't indoctrinate your kids. Yes, that's exactly it. I can't remember what I was reading or listening to, but, before women got to vote and all that, they didn't have to work either, and they couldn't accumulate debt. It was only the man or the husband could accumulate debt. The women were never slated with any kind of debt because they couldn't work and they couldn't vote and all that kind of stuff. So, the government more than happy to have it so that women work in the workforce so they get double the tax revenue. Yeah, inflation is not an accident, folks. No, it is not. And regardless of what anyone tells you, inflation is not necessary either. If somebody's like, inflation's necessary. No, it's not. It is absolutely not. The taxes must flow. Soy Dune. Well, let's see what else they have to say about this. One Ontario tradeswoman shared with me how her early commute and shift start times made even the daycare drop-off a major source of stress each day, and that without daycare options that fit her hours. The stress was insurmountable, particularly when job sites took her farther from home. The balance between work demands and limited childcare became impossible to manage, and she ultimately decided to leave her job. Stories like this show why it's so important to put real support in place to help keep women and parents in general in the trades. It's not necessary to keep women in the trades. It isn't. I don't care what they say. There's a case for inflation, but there's also a case that politicians can't be trusted with the purse strings when inflation is an option. Yes, DJ. First thing you must learn is do not trust politicians. They will say anything to get elected. They will also do anything to stay in power. And they love that power. And the days of working for the common folk, those are long gone. There is no representation for the common man by the politicians. As soon as they are in there, they feel they are superior, and they are, they want to rule you pretty much. So, sooner you learn that, the sooner you'll know never to trust them and pretty much ignore them. While Bill 190, Working for Workers 5 Act, introduces supports such as clean bathrooms and availability of menstrual care products for women, additional child care supports are a key piece of legislation needed to move forward to make a difference. We must ensure that child care options for parents in the trades account for non-traditional hours and flexible schedules. One solution is partnerships within child care networks, which could allow tradesmen to move their children within the same network based on their work location and have priority slots nearby. Another solution could be setting up on-site child care centers for large development projects, which could also create incentives for child care providers who would cater to these schedules. This reliable, consistent support would mean parents in the trades wouldn't be forced to choose between their career and children, and could perform better at their jobs knowing that their families are cared for no matter where the work takes them. Financial support through subsidies or stipend would help bring quality childcare within reach too, especially for apprentices. This approach would go a long way towards helping to retain skilled, dedicated workers who continue to strengthen Ontario's entire workforce. Or the women can stay home and look after the children. There should always be that thought that the women don't have to work. If the man makes enough to support both of them and a child, do that. In a world where women still fight for pay equity, that's a lie. That's a lie, especially in the trades. You will get paid 50% of journeyman rate. When you go to the next year, you'll get paid 60%, then 70, and then 80, then 90. So that's a lie. There is no pay inequity for women in the trades. Trade unions stand apart. Pay equity here isn't the goal, it's a reality. Women can build a strong and meaningful career in skilled trades, supporting themselves and their families with the comprehensive benefits and a network that is continuously making efforts to make the trades an inclusive space for everyone. Shut up. It is. This isn't the 70s anymore. But more needs to be done, and trade unions can't do it alone. To truly ensure that women have equitable playing field will require a concerted effort from all stakeholders, including the provincial governments, unions, and tradesmen. Also, you can look for another job. If you don't like how you're being paid at the job you're at, look for another one. There's a shortage of skilled tradesmen out there, so they're yapping it up. Well, find a better one. Just go out there and look. At a time when the province continues to tackle ambitious infrastructure plans, prioritizing additional flexible childcare supports for trade workers may be the solution the province needs and can make all the difference for women in the trades who are second-guessing their ability to start a family and continue their career. You can't do both. You can't do both. First of all, women go on maternity leave, so they leave an opening that has to be filled temporarily while they're on maternity leave. So someone has to come in, get trained up, and do their job, knowing that they're going to be sent back once the woman comes back from her maternity leave. So, yeah, it's not beneficial for the employer. Samara Sampson is a Mississauga-based Red Seal sheet metal worker. She's a tin basher and smart local 285 member. She's co-founder of Women on Site, with chapters across Ontario, offering women in skilled trades an opportunity to connect and tackle the challenges of working in male-dominated fields. They're male-dominated because females don't want to do them. I saw this one too. This one is empowering the next generation through trade education, building confidence, career paths, and bright futures. The U.S. is facing a critical shortage of skilled tradesmen, a challenge exacerbated by limited early exposure to the trades in schools. I bet she drives a Subaru. I bet she drives one too. Probably an Outback or something. With projections showing a steady decline in the availability of qualified workers to support infrastructure and construction programs like those led by Evan Jarrett are stepping in to bridge the gap. His middle school trade education program in Philadelphia is redefining the education landscape by engaging students as young as 4th grade in hands-on career-oriented learning. Good. This is when it should be introduced. What's wrong with Subaru, honestly? You're not married to the brand, you're just curious? I don't know. Subaru. I hear their Boxster engines are just terrible to work on. How can we address the skilled labor shortage while inspiring the next generation to embrace careers in the trades? Welcome to Straight Outta Crumpton, hosted by Greg Crumpton. In this episode, Greg speaks with Evan Jarrett, a construction trades instructor at the Mayfair School in Philadelphia. Together, they explore how early exposure to trade education can transform students' futures, provide practical career paths, and build confidence in young learners. The duo discuss building early exposure. Jarrett's program introduces trade skills like electrical, wiring, and plumbing to middle school students, breaking the stigma around working with one's hands. Engaging classroom environment. Evan treats his classroom like a real-world job site, fostering a hands-on, energetic, and inclusive atmosphere where students thrive. The bigger picture. By focusing on mentorship, confidence building, and industry connections, Jarrett prepares his students not just for careers, but for life. Evan Jarrett is a passionate construction trade instructor at the Mayfair School in Philadelphia, where he leads the district's only middle school building trades program. He excels in creating industry-aligned curricula, managing state-of-the-art tools and equipment, and cultivating hands-on learning environments that equip students for careers in construction technology. Drawing from his experience as a vocational instructor and maintenance manager, Jarrett combines deep industry knowledge with innovative teaching methods to inspire and empower the next generation of skilled professionals. Well, at least he's doing something. And I guess you can listen to the whole thing here, Empowering Trades. It's 34 minutes and 25 seconds. So if you go to marketscale.com, it's straight out of Crumpton. You can hear him talk it up with that fella, that guy, Evan. Philadelphia, you think you saw that movie? You don't think you can quote your favorite line? I have AIDS. That was Tom Hanks who said that. I remember Philadelphia. Didn't it come out in like 1994? Hey, Aris, how you doing? Nice to see ya. Everyone has AIDS, World Police. Yeah, we just finished up this article here about this guy who's running a school to help introduce the trades to kids is in grade 4. So that's good. You love the Family Guy skit? Yeah. I see you over there on Rumble there, Aris. All right, so if you've ever wondered how to get into the skilled trades, this is pretty straightforward path to take. So you got to find an employer that does take apprentices or does what you're interested in. So you're interested in welding, you're going to go look into a fab shop. Right? If you're interested in millwrighting, you're going to go look to a place that does construction or a place that does maintenance. You know, you want to be an electrician, there's plenty of electrical companies out there. You'll do like either residential, commercial, or industrial, and they are quite different as far as your electricians go. You know, residential, commercial, you're going to be doing usually new builds. You can do new builds for industrial, but you're going to be doing way higher voltages than you would in residential. Or you can also do a maintenance electrician, which involves more troubleshooting, and you're not dealing with brand new equipment. You're dealing with stuff that is used and old for the most part. Your son is going the electrician route. Hey, right on, Alex. That's great news. Look at that. He's doing an apprenticeship right now in Texas. Ah, hot damn. That's good stuff. Is he residential, commercial? What's he getting into? If you're interested in Philippine women, you go into nursing. That is so true, G. I mean, I once dated a Philippine girl, and her mother was a nurse. It's amazing there are so many in the healthcare system. Congratulations on your son being in the best state. So it says here, apprentices spend about 80% of their time learning on the job from a qualified tradesman. The rest of the time is spent taking classroom instruction, usually at a college or technical institution. Yes, that is true. So first of all, follow these 3 easy steps. Choose a program. Check the list of apprenticeship education programs in Alberta or wherever you happen to live. I'm sure there would be a list in your state. And narrow your choices down to potential careers that interest you. Talk to people who work in these careers and ask them questions. Talk to employers too. You may be able to job shadow someone to see what their typical day-to-day work is really like. Find a sponsor. A sponsor is a person or organization who agrees to set you up with paid employment and mentorship in your trade. You can register as an apprentice and attend classroom instruction without having a sponsor. However, to earn on-the-job hours toward your apprenticeship, you must have a sponsor. Very true. And then you apply, complete the online application to register your apprenticeship and begin learning your trade. So you and your employer will both sign an apprenticeship education agreement. I don't know if that's the same in the U.S., but that's the way it is here in Alberta. So you want to choose your program. Well, there's plenty here to choose from. For those that haven't seen this before, it's alphabetical, and you can start, agricultural equipment technician, appliance service technician, an appliance service technician for commercial appliance, auto body technician, auto body prepper, auto body refinisher, auto body repairer, an automotive service technician, also known as a mechanic. Sponsor, hi, I'm Dave, and I'm an electrician. I don't think we go to those kinds of meetings, Dave. You can be in the B's, a baker, a barber, a boilermaker, bricklayer, cabinet maker in the C's, carpenter, cathodic protection technician level 2. So this is neat because it deals with pipelines and how they try to keep them from degrading by running a current through them. Very low current, of course, but it's to stop any kind of corrosion or anything from happening to the pipeline. I thought that's really neat. There's communication technician, concrete finisher, construction craft worker, cook, crane and hoisting equipment operator for a boom truck. There's crane operator for a mobile crane, and there's crane operator for a tower crane. So those are 3 separate ones for the lifting, using all those lifting devices. Check your chili. Yeah, check that chili, David. Hopefully it's percolating. There's crane and hoisting equipment operator for a wellhead boom truck. In the E's, electric motor systems technician, electrician, and elevator constructor. Field heat treatment technician, a floor covering installer. Gas utility operator, a gas fitter class A, a gas fitter class B. A glazer, so you're dealing with all sorts of glass. A hairstylist. Heavy equipment technician. Off-road. Heavy equipment technician, transport trailer mechanic. And a heavy equipment technician, truck and transport mechanic. There's industrial construction crew supervisor, industrial mechanic, millwright, which is what I do. Instrumentation and control technician, insulator, heat and frost, iron worker. An iron worker metal building systems erector. Iron worker reinforcing. Iron worker structural ornamental. There's a landscape horticulturalist, a lather, a locksmith, machinist, metal fabricator, motorcycle mechanic, natural gas compression technician, oil and gas transportation services, outdoor power equipment technician, recreational equipment, overhead door technician, level 1 and level 2, painter and decorator, parts technician, materials technician, a plumber, power system electrician, power line technician. Power lines are harsh because you're up really high and it's real high voltage. Recreation vehicle service technician, refrigeration and air conditioning mechanic. That's a good one. Residential construction site manager, a roofer. Roofer, if you want to be out in the elements all the time and up on the roof. And usually it's seasonal. You're not out there in the wintertime. Plumber, Alex. There you go. Sheet metal worker, slick line services, snubbing services. I think this has to deal with oil and gas. Sprinkler systems installer, steam fitter, pipe fitter, steel detailer, transport refrigeration technician, water well driller, earth loop technician, a welder wire process, and weld testing services. But we can look at plumber there, Alex. Seeing as how you shouted it out. Plumbers plan, install, and service plumbing systems, fixtures, piping equipment, and controls. These piping systems may be used to transport water, wastes, gases, or hot liquids. On a typical construction job, plumbers do the roughing in after the frame and roof of a new building are in place. In other words, they study the building plans and specifications to determine the layout for the plumbing and other materials. Locate and mark out positions for connections and fixtures, cut holes through walls and floors to accommodate pipes. Select the type and size of pipe required to measure cut thread, bend, clamp, solvent, cement, or solder pipe. They will not. They will just follow the blueprints. There will already be a bill of materials, and the engineers will have selected what they're going to use for materials. So you won't be doing that sort of thing. Yo, what's up, Infinite Metal? There you are. How's it going? How are you and Skelly? This is the guy I was telling you guys about, Infinite Metal. He's over on Twitch and Kick, and he streams a lot of retro games. He's got a pet dragon named Skelly who mocks him as he plays games, which is the fun part for me to watch. I like watching that. But yeah, you guys should check him out when you can. He's a cool dude. Hey, I've been pretty good. Just chatting it up here. We're learning how to get into an apprenticeship. And specifically, when you're choosing a trade, and Alex shouted out plumber. So we're looking at plumber. Plumber also assembles and installs valves and fittings, joins pipe sections and secures them in position, tests pipe systems for leaks, and install underground storm sanitary and water piping system. So it gives you a list of the program, what you're going to learn in the actual trades program. Tells you how long the apprenticeship is. It's 4 years. You need a minimum of 1,560 hours on the job training and 8 weeks of classroom instruction each year. And after that instruction, you'll have an exam. And then you go on to the next year. And at the end of your 4th year, you'll have your last exam, and then you'll be classified journeyman. You can earn a journeyman certificate based on work experience, minimum 72 months and 9,360 hours, successful theory exam, and an employer declaration letter. There you go. So they also tell you the related trades. Applicants with an Alberta or recognized trade certificate in one or the following trades may be eligible for credit towards their apprenticeship and trades qualifier program. So you can use this as to help you out if you want to become a gas fitter or a sprinkler system installer or a steam fitter, pipe fitter. You prefer his arch nemesis, finite non-metal. Yes. And there's a whole bunch of stuff listed here. Trade information, job information, entrance requirements, curriculum guide. It's all here. And I wish that in the US you guys had a resource like this that would help you out. But from my understanding, you guys, it probably varies from state to state, and maybe you don't have it spelled out as clear as day as this. But you can learn, like you can know exactly what you need to do. And it is well laid out. That's for a plumber. There's all sorts, as you can see, the list goes on alphabetically. There is a lot to choose from, depending on what you want to do. Nah, finite non-metal, now you're cool. Now it's incomplete polka. That's the real jerk. There you go. That incomplete polka guy. Hate that guy. So yeah, that's how you go about becoming an apprentice. The first thing though is just pick what you think you'd like to do, And if I'll go from there, talk to people who are in the trade already. You can ask them lots of questions, pick their brain. There's lots of online resources to look it up, and you'll figure it out whether you want to do it or not. And then once you do, you go to find a place that has that job, whatever it may be, whether it is, operating a crane or electrical work, or, if you're a gas fitter or heavy equipment technician. Heavy equipment technician is cool. I did 2 years of that, but I had to drop it because the journeyman I was training under, he left. So I could not train anymore as a heavy equipment technician. So I would have been dual ticketed, but it didn't quite work out. But you get to work on stuff like, I worked on a lot of front end loaders. And yeah, like you want to talk about heavy equipment, like it is unreal how heavy some of this stuff is you have to deal with. And you gotta be real careful because one slip up and things will kill you in an instant. So you will be, you have to be extra safe. The stuff, it rolls on wheels first of all, and that's a big one right away. Mobile equipment, it moves. So you have to make sure it doesn't when you're working on it. Also, front end loaders can articulate. So when you got to work on them, you have to lock them in so they don't articulate anymore. Otherwise, you can get crushed in between them. And it's not a pretty sight. So, but yes, there's lots to choose from. That's my little spiel this time around. I'm going to switch it up now and gonna do picture time. It's picture time. It's picture time. I know how much you guys like picture time. So let me get things prepped here and ready to go. It's actually video time. So it's going to be videos, not just not pictures. So let's go like this. Like this. There we go. You guys get to look at my Kyoka background while I look for my video. She's from Chained Soldier. If you haven't seen Chained Soldier, you do yourself a favor and give it a watch. It's only 12 episodes, but they are damn good. Okay. Yeah, here. Let's get this sorted out. Make it a little bigger. All right. I don't know if some of you guys may have seen this before, but let's flip it on here and see what happens. That says LEL sensor failed. So LEL detects explosive gas mixtures. Yeah, I thought a number 1 Phillips would get in there, and it did. So I got to come back to that other one. Manga's good too. Yes, Alex. Alex is our resident manga reader. He reads lots of stuff, like lots. A very avid reader. There we go. You get them. It's only 6 screws that hold it together. This is a formed rubber case for this gas. This is a 4 gas monitor, so it monitors H2S, CO, LEL, and oxygen. That big blue piece right there, that's the oxygen sensor right there. Right there is the oxygen sensor. This little blue thing up here is the eccentric motor, which makes it vibrate when it wants to get your attention. So there's 2 screws now holding down the circuit board. So we take those off. That big silver thing there, that's the battery. It's non-replaceable. So once these batteries are done, you got to throw them out. And there's the 4 sensors there. That red one is CO. The blue one is H2S. The silver one is LEL. And as I said, the other one's the oxygen one. So the one we're going to change is that silver one on the top left side. That's the one, yep. And they're very easy to change. Slide them out. They're just held in there. Try to get the number off of it. Okay, we left off there. Next one. This might be one of my bloopers, so you guys get to see a blooper here. Got the brand new sensor. These things are about $190 each. There we go. Wait for it. And the camera fell over. Just slide it out like a Switch cartridge. Tastes just as good. Oh, you bet, Al. You bet there, G. Okay, let's try this again. I think I've secured the camera a little bit better, and let's continue on. Okay, we'll open this up. Very small. Okay, it's like, well, why isn't it going in? Why isn't it going in? I'll figure it out in a second here. Oh yeah, flip it over. There we go. Snaps in. And there you have it. Replacing the sensors on a 4-gas monitor. Secure the circuit board back in place. Yeah, thanks, Infinite. Yeah, it's not too bad. We'll get these secured in place. If they cooperate. There we go. Sometimes you just got to give it the old 180. Yeah. That's what happens sometimes. Even to the best of us, it's like, why are you trying to put that on like that? And you're just like, oh, man. Yeah. Secure these back in place here. I got about 11 of these to take care of, so a lot of them, when they get old, and some we have are 5 years old, 6 years old, and they start to lose their battery power. So when it gets cold out, they die a lot quicker, maybe in 6 hours or something. They're supposed to last 12 hours. And they will when they're brand new, but when they're old, they won't. So we'll fire it up now. You should be able to... It's going through its self-checks right now. Checking its upper and lower limits. Tests out okay. I think it's going to need calibrated. So there's a docking station you go and you put that put the machine into, and it will calibrate it. So right now you can see that even with the new sensor, it needs to be calibrated. So here we go. You can do a little self-calibration on here. tells you how many days until the next calibration. And then there we go. Oxygen is 20.9%. Everything else is zeros across the board. So right now, after this, I would take that and take it to the docking station, put it in, and set it for calibrate, and it would calibrate it, and it would be all good to go to release to the employees, the operators. It's like, here you go. Here's the gas monitor. I may have showed you guys a few of these guys the last time, but this is what corrosion looks like in a pipe. This thing, it holed out actually, and hole out means that it wore a hole through it because it's just sat there for so long. It's probably close to 60 years old or so. So yeah. Let's get a look at this. That does not look healthy. That's just all the insulation on there. But yeah, this thing, it got a hole in it, so they had to replace it this year. Get a look from underneath. So yeah, we blinded it, which means that we capped off both ends of that so that it would not leak anymore or have a supply to it, and then we got it replaced. So it's where I'm at, we try not to use carbon steel pipes because carbon steel rusts. We'll try to use stainless steel pipes, more expensive, but the trade-off is they're not going to corrode or rust, just because they have that extra protection from being made of stainless steel. And for those of you who want to see a 60-year-old pump, let me show you a 60-year-old pump. Or a pump from 1964. How about that? So I'll just explain to you right there. So this small part, that's the motor. That can be swapped out very easily. It's not 60 years old. It'll be newer. What it's connected to is a gearbox to reduce the speed of the motor down to something a lot slower. Because spinning at 1800 RPM or 3500 RPM, you don't want the pump to spin that fast. At least this style of pump. So there's the gearbox there. It's almost as old as you are. There you are, Gabe. There you are, David. So that's the gearbox. And then it goes to what we call the hydraulic end. And you can see that moving back and forth, that's what does the work, the hydraulic end. And then you'll see in here the piston. So right now it is pumping liquid sulfur. And it has the oil there. Keep it in an oil bath for good lubrication purposes. And that's what brand it is. And there's you can't see it, but we wrap it up. We wrap it up in insulation because sulfur, now this is really neat. So you guys mostly think of sulfur, it's a powder. But you can also make it into a liquid if you heat it up. If you heat it up to 315 degrees Fahrenheit, sulfur turns into a liquid. If you heat it up past that, if you heat it up to 350, it turns back into a solid. It has a very narrow band where the sulfur is liquid. And so, the reason that there is insulation on here is to keep the pipes warm, because they are all hot oil there's hot oil that gets pumped around these pipes to heat them up to 315 degrees Fahrenheit. Like that, as you can see. And it gets pumped around the plant. So with the sulfur, it's really neat that I did not know that it has, it becomes a liquid at a certain temperature. But then if you go hotter than that, it becomes a solid again. So there's that real sweet spot. Here's another one. Pump is more than twice your age. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, G. I mean, so there's, once again, motor, which goes to the gearbox. It's quite a large gearbox, actually. These things are very heavy. And goes to the hydraulic end. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but it is moving back and forth in there. You can set the stroke, how much you want. And I think, yeah, we'll lift it up and we'll have a look inside. And it's just back and forth, slowly pumping sulfur. It doesn't have to be high volume, just pressure. So that's why it's moving so slow. We don't need a very heavy volume. So yeah, that is that one. Gotta go. Okay, Aris. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. See you around, I hope. And I watched Aris play some games on YouTube. So he does stream some games. I think it was Final Fantasy I was watching him play. Final Fantasy 7. And he looked like he was having a good time. So do yourself a favor and look up Aris. See if he's playing a game that you like. Oh yes, and speaking of sulfur. Yep, OG Final Fantasy 7. There you go. I know there's lots of fans of Final Fantasy out there, so a lot of people like their Final Fantasy 7. Thanks for dropping that link, DJ. Appreciate it. So, I was talking about liquid sulfur. Well, this is where it's stored. This is the liquid sulfur pit. And there's the connection that I was asked to put in so that they could keep any vapor or emissions coming out of it. Today you're going to play Dragon Quest II. Okay, Dragon Quest II. That sounds like a good one. Any other Dragon Quests I've played have been long, but they're also real fun. They've got good stories, good graphics, and Akira Toriyama character designs. I mean, you can't go wrong. Stuff in your face right now. Eat, David, eat. Eat that chili. It's tasty chili. What are the health benefits of a liquid sulfur bath? Oh, yeah, if you have anything on your skin, it won't be there anymore once you take a sulfur bath. Yep. It won't be there. Guaranteed. So I got this thing designed up because we needed to keep fugitive emissions from coming out of that thing. So it's all stainless. I got one of the fab shops that we know to fab this up. I bought the material, stainless plate, and I wanted something quite large, so I got 3/8 inch plate with some stainless pipe and a 90 degree. You can see it's 304, which is a type of stainless. Same with this, 304. Might be good for Skelly. Yeah, there you go. Hey, Skelly, come and hop in this sulfur pit. Yes, so everything is stainless, except for, as you can see, this bracket here on the pipe, but that's okay. Beans or no beans in that chili? Yeah, G wants to know, beans or no beans, David? Oh, I also had to get some a rubber to keep any liquid from getting in, or any rainwater from getting in, because you don't want to dilute your sulfur. It would cool it down, but it would also start making sulfuric acid. No beans, cool beans. There's the hole. That's what the original looked like. And they didn't want that there anymore because it was too open to atmosphere, and the rain was letting in too much water. Use number 10 can of roasted red peppers. Those sound good. There's the stainless exhaust. So they also needed a place to exhaust any of the buildup of fumes in there. And it's like, okay, well, I'll get them to build it. And they built an 8-inch duct to exhaust all the fumes out. But it's all stainless. And I think it's Schedule 10, which is thin wall, but that's all you need for an exhaust port. You don't need anything too crazy. Schedule just means the thickness of pipe used. So Sched 40 is like just regular pipe. You can get Sched 80, Sched 160. The wall thickness will increase, and the inside diameter will get smaller the higher up you go. There's another shot of it. They put a grate on there so birds wouldn't fly in, because, you don't want birds in your sulfur pit. I try to document everything. That's why I take so many pictures. That way we can recall when things were done, what they looked like, and also content for you guys. And just how they did it. They welded a angle iron for support. So they welded it there to the base, and up here they connected it with a giant U-bolt, and that holds it steady. Yeah, there we are. A little closer look at it. And it's also either stainless or they painted it with stainless paint. I'm not quite sure. Because we don't want things to rust, and stuff around sulfur rusts really quick. Yeah, there's the hole there looking into the sulfur pit. So we got that covered up. We got the attached hose on there. But I don't think that's the right hose. Also, this was the time when I had a swivel on there. So this is a swivel. And it would be fine until you got to the last little bit of sulfur getting loaded, and then it would start to leak. So this is all the sulfur that leaked out there, and then it solidified. Easy to chip away, but still, it's an annoyance, and it looks ugly. And it doesn't look like I did a good job then. So I did fix it up, though. And I know some of you guys know I did fix it up so that it would be a lot better. We also got a proper sulfur hose. So this is good for 200 psi, which we don't get up to, and 325 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's perfect. It doesn't get any hotter, and it will last when they use it to unload. And I got a longer hose too, 20 foot long. That way when the trucks pull up, the trucks don't have to pull as close to the sulfur pit. Makes it a little easier for the guys to reach. So that's sort of that when it comes to dealing with sulfur. And the product I make at the facility is hydrogen sulfide. And for those that don't know, Hydrogen sulfide is a deadly gas, and it will kill you in as fast as you can take a breath. So if you go, you're dead. Depending on the concentration, if it's like 500 parts per million, it's going to knock you down. Any higher than that, you're dead, man. You're not going to come back. It's going to cause pulmonary edema, and yeah, you will die. So we take safety very seriously when dealing with deadly gases like that. The other product we make is called carbon disulfide. It is a solvent. It's not as deadly as H2S, but it is highly flammable. So if it touches a hot surface, it will start on fire. So once again, have to be extra careful. Don't work on anything without the proper protection, and we have full chemical suits to wear, face shield, rubber gloves, rubber boots, everything like that to keep it so that if you get sprayed, you're going to be okay. We also have chemical showers, so if you do get something on you, you run to the safety shower, or somebody takes you to the safety shower. You pull the handle and it'll rinse you off. You stay in there for 15, 20 minutes till all the chemical is off you. Haven't had to use it yet, and I'm glad. So we try to be as careful as we can when dealing with such deadly chemicals. So as far as easing back into it, you come back from holidays, ease back into it. It's like, okay, well, what happened while I was gone? You hear about the things that happened. Nothing major happened to me this time around. There's a lot of pieces and parts you find on the bench, and you're like, okay, well, what's this about? What's this about? And you have to hear all the stories about what happened. And then catching up with orders and emails and talking to people that you were talking to before Christmas holidays. It's like, okay, well, what do you have for me? Did you do anything? I ordered this. Did you guys send it? Is it coming? All that kind of stuff. And it's going to slowly take a while to build up. But, we'll get back into the swing of things. Back into the routine. It was nice having so much time off, though. It was really great. It really helped, I think. Helped having such a long break, so you can get that, that mental cleanse, this not thinking about work all the time. Because, believe it or not, I don't know if it happens to you guys, but if the more you work, when you get home, or if you're on a day off, you're like, I should be at work right now. I could be working right now. And that's the wrong way. That's like Stockholm syndrome. We're getting into stuff where it's like, no. You need a hobby. You need something else to do. Don't think about work. Don't think about that you should be there. Get your mind off of it. That's what time off is all about. Get your mind off of it. Don't think you need to be there. They can get along without you. So yeah. And then when you come back, ease into it. You don't have to hit it hard right away. You don't have to start ripping stuff apart. Just, okay, well, this stuff came in. Okay, good. Look at it, catalog it, put it away. Take care of some of the work orders that need to get done. Just that kind of stuff. You gotta ease into it, Nobody should expect you to go hit the ground running as fast as you can. You just gotta, let's ease into it. Get back into the swing of things. Tell your coworkers when they try to add some comments to something on their day off, go back to vacation. That's right, Infinite. You got her. It's not a good mind space to be in. Not a good head space. When you have time off, forget about where you work. Just forget about where you work and enjoy whatever you need, whatever you're doing. So, hey, what's happening, Veritax? It's what happened to Lot's wife, I believe, in Genesis, sulfur and brimstone. There you go. Yeah, we're just talking about easing back into the work, the work routine, I should say. Yeah, it's not something you want to rush into, you know? Everyone's coming back. Vendors you were talking to, they're just coming back from their time off. You know, you can catch up on emails and see what's going on. But make sure you take that when you're on a day off. Like, I work 5 days a week. I get Saturdays and Sundays off. I stream on those days. You guys know I'm a morning streamer on Saturdays and Sundays. Those are my days off, but I do the streaming for fun. I do it for fun. It's a nice hobby to have, and it helps me not think about work, except for this stream, which is about trades. But you guys know what I'm getting at. It's just the way it's something you have to have a hobby. You hear about those guys, they work hard all their lives. They figure they're doing the right thing by working hard, and then they retire, and then in a year, dead. I don't want to be that guy. I want to make sure I've got plenty of stuff to do, plenty of things to take care of, and take care of my health as well, so I live long enough to enjoy retirement. I don't want to be all hunched up and all creaky and old and shriveled from having worked. Don't work yourself to death is what I'm getting at. Don't do that. Lot's wife shouldn't have thought about work while on vacation. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you this time around. I really appreciate you guys all coming out today. It was a fun time. I just want to say thanks to David, obviously, DJ Ronnie G, Alex Moore. Nice to hear your son's doing electrical, Alex. That's really great. Everyone's favorite Kaiju, Godzillionaire. Always Geminier, always a pleasure. And Aris, I know he's gone now, but it was great for him stopping by. I like talking to Aris. And Infinite Metal. Appreciate you stopping by, man. That's great. Hope to see you streaming soon again. You and Skelly. I don't know when. Let us know the next time you're going to be doing that. And anybody else? Oh no, Veritax was here too. I saw Veritax. Anybody else that was lurking and listening? I hope you enjoyed yourself. I had a fun time. I hope you did too. Coming up, or actually not coming up. Infinite, you'll be on tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So 8 o'clock Mountain Time you'll be on. That's my time, Mountain Time. And tomorrow, Wednesday. Okay, good to know. So you guys can check out Infinite Metal tomorrow. So there's other channels to visit out there as well. Lots of people I personally watch and enjoy, like Mike from Pacific 414. There's DJ Ronnie G. He was in the chat. If you like tech, turtles, and astronomy, you're going to want to follow DJ Ronnie G. There's Brandon the Anime Guy, Carl at the RNG Podcast. There's Tom B. He's the bloke from across the ocean there in Britain. Angry Canadian, Corporeal Lifeform. There's everyone's favorite penguin, Punkwaddle. And the aforementioned Infinite Metal, who will be streaming tomorrow. Coming up, Saturday, Retro Game Day, I will be going after Pegasus in Yu-Gi-Oh! For the DS. I got it. I know now who the guy is. He beat me down last time. I'm going to try to just murderize the guy. I got to just stomp him in that card game. Pegasus needs to go down. DJ, you got a special video? What special video would that be? Let us know. Inquiring minds want to know. Gee, let me give you my social security number. All weebs and otaku see this. Busted your butt on part of it. Okay, let's all tune into that. for DJ Ronnie G, because I'm an otaku. I'll admit it. I've watched anime from way back. Like my first anime I watched, I was the year 1978 when I watched my first, or maybe it was 79, probably 79 when I watched my first anime. I need to swap between myself and Yami Pops in order to beat Pegasus. Nice! I can be like, oh no, I gotta take on Pegasus. Yes, and I'm going to play Monster Reborn. That's what's happening on Saturday. On Sunday, it's Anime Chat. The theme of this month is anime superheroes. So join me as I feature some of the shows that had anime superheroes. So people with superpowers. This should be fun. I mean, the last one I had a great time. This time it's going to be really good too. Got some shows to showcase to you guys. Hopefully it'll spark your interest, maybe make you want to watch them as well. And then we're right back again to Tuesday. More trades talk. Hopefully I'll have more pictures for you, more videos, more stories of my time in the skilled trades. And I hope to hear from you guys as well, some of your stories. So yeah, that's it for me. I had a fun time. I hope you guys did too. And I hope to see you guys on Saturday. But until then, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.